Brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. The Tesla Model 3 was unveiled over 5 years ago now. It still remains the most popular electric vehicle and was supposed to be Tesla's entry into the more affordable market starting at $35,000. Today, the cheapest Tesla Model 3, which is the cheapest Tesla available, actually starts at $38,490, so that $35,000 model is not available anymore. The cheapest model is the Standard Range Plus, getting an EPA range of 263 miles, a 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds, and many more awesome features. I took delivery of this exact model in March of 2021, and today I'm going to break down what the true cost of ownership has been in the first month. We're going to get into the actual cash price, including taxes and required fees, exact charging costs, rebates, insurance, and financing costs, so let's get into it. Teslas are very exciting cars for many people, but their prices still come at a premium, often making these a difficult choice for people. It's easy to look at the sticker price for a Model 3 and give it a quick no because of how pricey it is. Similarly, it's easy to look at the sticker price for a Model 3 and give it a quick yes, not knowing what the actual out-the-door cost will be. That's why I'm going to detail everything about true cost of ownership. There are a number of fees up front when buying a Model 3, but most of these are going to be the same when buying any brand new car. Similarly, there are a number of savings when buying a Model 3. However, these are really only available for electric cars. Charging is cheaper than gas, maintenance is next to nothing, and we'll talk about all of that in a minute. For the Model 3, we went with the Standard Range Plus rear-wheel drive in Midnight Silver Metallic with the standard aero wheels, standard black interior, and no full self-driving. The only upgrade there from the base price was the paint, and at this point I wouldn't recommend buying the full self-driving package myself since it's a significant price increase, and has yet to really prove its value. Additionally, Tesla is planning a subscription for this package that may make more sense for customers. If you have that extra $10,000 to spend, I'd personally get the longer range, faster Model 3, but it is up to you, of course. On my order agreement, Tesla has the car broken down as the Model 3 at $35,000, Standard Range Plus rear-wheel drive at $2,990, Midnight Silver Metallic paint at $1,000, destination fee at $1,200, and order fee at $100. This brings the vehicle total to $40,290. Now you'll notice that the price has already actually changed on the Model 3, so a current Model 3 with the same configuration would be $500 more expensive today. If you didn't upgrade the paint and got a 100% base model, you'd come in $500 cheaper than this, screeching in right below $40,000 at $39,790. Anyways, my total vehicle price was $40,290. That's what Tesla is receiving, but it comes before fees and anything else. I paid $4,129.73 in sales tax and $30 for an EV registration fee. This brought my total cash price to $44,449.73. Next is registration fees to actually drive the car. My vehicle license fee was $262, registration was $269, and California tire fee was $7, bringing that subtotal to $44,987.73. Depending on your state, there will be different incentives, but California has a $1,500 clean fuel award, and it is applied after taxes and fees, and considered part of your down payment. So if you were to pay 100% cash for this vehicle, you'd be paying $44,987.73, or $43,487.73 if you live in California. That's the true out-the-door cost to own the cheapest Tesla Model 3. I financed most of this cost, and I'll get into those details in a minute, but for now let's talk about rebates and then charging. Throughout the US, there are many potential rebates for the Tesla Model 3. At the time I took delivery, I qualified for a $2,000 rebate from the state of California. It's a check for that amount and not some kind of tax credit or anything, so it brought my total cash price down to $41,487.73. Today, there are many different EV incentive programs depending on your state, and California's newest program will get you that $1,500 off the purchase price at the dealer, as I mentioned. There's also a potential $5,000 down payment assistance program through Clean Vehicle Grants, and a potential $4,500 rebate through Clean Vehicle Rebates. These are all income-dependent programs, but many people qualify even if they think they don't. They're definitely worth checking into, so I'll put the links in the description to check those out. Each state has different programs, and the federal US government may be moving forward with a change to their large tax credit incentive program later this year for up to $10,000 off, but that program hasn't changed yet, and at the current moment still excludes Teslas. Now let's talk about charging. One of the big benefits of electric cars is never needing to get gas. This is clean and good for the environment, but also comes with its own cost savings as well. The cheapest way to charge a Tesla is by using free chargers, which many cities have, but after that it's home charging. Home charging rates typically allow drivers to charge their car for much less than gas. After that, with a Tesla, you have supercharging, which is more expensive but still cheaper than gas on average. For home charging, you'll likely need to install a fast charger in order to fill up your battery overnight. A normal plug can get the job done for those driving shorter distances, but usually customers like a faster charger. I paid $250 to have a NEMA 1450 plug installed at my house, but this can typically cost up to $500, so it's a cost to keep in mind. In order to unlock the cost savings of home charging, you'll likely need to pay up front for a bit of an install for the charger. Over the past month, we drove 491 miles in our Tesla Model 3. On average, our efficiency was 232 watt-hours per mile, which means that it took about 0.232 kilowatt-hours to drive 1 mile. So those 491 miles cost about 113 kilowatt-hours, and I charged those up probably 95% at home and 5% at superchargers. For superchargers, I have only stopped twice to fill up, and was charged for 88 miles of total driving for both stops. This means I supercharged for about 20.4 kilowatt hours and charged at home for the remaining 92.6 kilowatt hours. Based on an average cost of about 30 cents per kilowatt hour at superchargers, I paid about $6.12 to charge up 88 miles. For home charging, I filled up with the remaining 92.6 kilowatt hours. That got me about 403 miles of driving, and with my power company charging an average of about 16.5 cents per kilowatt hour, that brought my total home charging to $15.28. So if we add these together, I paid $21.40 to drive my Model 3 491 miles in the past month. Realistically, this seems like it will reflect our driving over the rest of the year, mostly charging at home, but I imagine getting closer to 10,000 miles driven in 12 months. Based on these rates, 10,000 miles should cost us somewhere around $430 or so. The one thing to keep in mind here is that you'll often see phantom drain on your car where the battery drains a tiny bit overnight or when using the AC but not actually putting miles on the car, so my cost could be a bit higher than this if I were to track every single lost kilowatt hour. So driving 491 miles for $21.40 might sound like a lot, but let's do a comparison. Keep in mind that with this comparison, I am going to compare my electrical and supercharger prices with my available gas prices. While this gas price I mentioned may be way higher than yours, more than likely my charging price is also way higher than yours is since I live in Los Angeles. So this comparison still works, it just might not be as extreme or seem as extreme for your area with cheaper gas and charging prices. Let's compare our Model 3 charging prices to a gas equivalent car getting around 31 miles per gallon. That's right in between the gas mileage you'd see on the more affordable Honda Accord and the similarly priced Mercedes A-Class. About 88 of my miles were at 2 supercharger stops, and that total was $6.12. For the same amount of miles with an average current gas price of $3.70, yes, $3.70 in LA right now, getting 31 miles per gallon, that would have cost me about $10.47. So almost 40% more to fill up with gas right now in Los Angeles as opposed to charging for the same distance. The remaining 403 miles were from my home charger, and that total was $15.28. Doing the same calculation with the same amount of miles, an average gas price of $3.70 in LA, getting 31 miles per gallon, that would have cost me $48.10. So over $30 of savings between filling up with gas and charging at home. As you drive more and more, you can expect these numbers to really add up. Over a year owning my Model Y, I saved almost $600 on fueling from home versus filling with gas. Of course, there is more to it, and your savings are going to even out with a far cheaper vehicle, but when comparing to a similarly priced car like a Mercedes A-Class, these are direct savings. As I mentioned already, the reason I'm using ridiculous LA gas prices is because I live in LA, my electric bill is LA prices, and my supercharger prices are LA prices. These all fluctuate around the United States, but typically work out so that when gas is cheaper, supercharging and home charging are as well. For some, paying over $2 for gas sounds crazy, and you may think these calculations don't apply, but if you check your electrical prices, paying over 16 cents per kilowatt hour will also sound crazy, so this is a fair comparison. Real quick, I'd like to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform made to help you build a great professional website, online store, or portfolio to integrate with your style and bring your own ideas to life with ease. One particularly great feature of Squarespace is that all websites are automatically optimized for mobile. Since so many people browse the internet on their phones, a mobile website is becoming more and more essential, so Squarespace automatically adjusts your content so your site looks great on any device, including computers, tablets, and phones. You can also create incredibly intuitive have galleries to display images and videos in unique ways. Check out squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/RyanShaw to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Overall, with these calculations, I paid $21.40 to drive the Standard Range Plus Model 3 491 miles, and would have paid $58.57 if I drove a different car at 31 miles per gallon. That's actually on the higher end of miles per gallon on equivalent gas vehicles, so my calculations may even be a bit generous. Based on my calculations, though, I saved $37.17 on fuel driving the Model 3 for this small amount of miles. On top of this, however, Tesla has a referral program. If you use the link in the description below to buy a Tesla, you get 1,000 free supercharger miles, and in turn, so do I. I've been lucky enough to have had a number of referrals over the past year, so I actually didn't pay for those 88 supercharger miles. That means that for me personally, I only paid home charging costs of $15.28 to drive 491 miles in this car. Again, you can already see how the savings add up when I drive 10 to 20 times as many miles over the next couple years. As you can see, home charging is the best option by far if you are trying to maximize your fuel savings and don't have a free charger close by. Next up would be maintenance. Typically, a vehicle would need regular oil changes, other possible repairs, and more, but electric cars are different. Is it common to need an oil change in less than a month on a new car? No, but there are no regular oil changes in Teslas, period. It's not a thing. Additionally, with a simpler, cleaner setup and no engine, the Model 3 has next to no maintenance, and I frequently see owners joking about the windshield wiper fluid maintenance they have to do a year into ownership. Also, if you buy new, any significant issues will be covered under warranty. I had a few small things fixed on my Model Y over the past year, but have not had to pay for any of that maintenance. Additionally, the issues I had were small initial issues that are not common. I am not anticipating much maintenance on this Model 3 whatsoever, since that's what I've seen from longtime Model 3 owners and what I've experienced with the Model Y over the past year. Next, in order to drive a car, you'll need insurance, and insurance often reflects the price of the car. Insurance for Teslas is worth shopping around for because I've seen really great and really terrible rates for these cars. In my case, I'm using Tesla insurance, which is currently exclusive to California. It's supposed to be expanding to other states soon, but remains a California exclusive for now. I'm paying $230 per month for both my Model Y and Model 3. This may not be super helpful since it's both cars on the same plan and likely bringing the price down, but $130 was the most recent premium I was paying for the Model Y only, so the Model 3 is likely $80 to $120 or so depending on your situation, probably around $1440 for the whole year. But now let's talk about how I paid for this car. As we talked about earlier, my total cash price with fees was $44,987.73. $1,500 of that was taken off for the California Clean Fuel Award. I paid a down payment of $8,434.73, and that brought my remaining balance to $35,053. I financed through Tesla, which ended up being through Chase for 72 months at a rate of 2.19%. This makes my monthly payment $520.46, with my first one due in mid-May, around 6 weeks after delivery. The breakdown of the financing shows that over the course of the 72-month loan, I will be paying $2,420.12 extra to the financing company, Chase. So after all is said and done, I'll be paying $37,473.12 back on the $35,053 loan. As I mentioned, Chase is receiving $2,420.12 of that as a financing charge. Now, all of these calculations are my particular case. We did not trade in a vehicle at all, and typically those shopping for a Tesla Model 3 have a trade-in that would knock off a significant amount of the total vehicle cost. Additionally, you may live in an area where you have better EV incentives, or the federal EV tax credit could return, making this car much more attainable. Based on my calculations so far, however, here's what I'm expecting to pay each month to own my Standard Range Plus Model 3. Again, the cheapest Tesla available. My minimum car payment is $520.46 per month. On top of that, I'll be paying around $120 per month for insurance, bringing me to $640.46 per month that I have to pay to own this car. I imagine my charging costs will be similar to the past month, around $15 to $30 or so, and as I mentioned, I'm not expecting any maintenance and won't have any oil changes to worry about in this Model 3 for the next year or two or ever. So probably around $660 per month for the cheapest Tesla. Remember that that's with no trade-in and close to $10,000 down, including that California Fuel Award. Additionally, I'll be getting back $2,000 as a clean vehicle rebate from the state of California. For depreciation, cars typically lose a lot as soon as you drive them off the lot, but Teslas have a reputation for holding their value well. The electric aspect makes the car keep its new feel, and mileage doesn't wear the same as a gas car. Additionally, with software updates, the car actually gets better over time, and there are a number of features expected to come to this car via software updates over the next year. If I were to trade in my Standard Range Plus Model 3 after less than a month, my Kelley Blue Book value would be $39,307. The Kelley Blue Book value for a private party sale comes in at $43,132. In the best case scenario, selling to a private party, I'd hardly be taking any loss on this vehicle right now. We'll see how this holds up over the next year though, since it's the cheapest model with the shortest range. Tesla's full self-driving package is something that I purchased after delivery on my Model Y and did not get it on this Model 3. You can get it at delivery, but it now costs $10,000, so that's a huge number to add on to all of these calculations and will affect both how much you pay in financing as well as your registration costs. If it's worth it to you, buying it after delivery may prove the smarter option, but I would try to run those numbers if you can and figure out what's best for you. As I mentioned earlier, Tesla is also planning a subscription option for this package, and I personally think it might be best to wait and see what Tesla's full self-driving beta truly ends up delivering in the future before making the plunge into the full price or the subscription. So what would the future look like for my vehicle? Well, I'm expecting my DMV renewal fees to be around $600 per year. I'm not expecting to need any new tires this year, but I will after a few. Additionally, I'll need to replace my cabin air filters, which Tesla sells for $34 for the required set of 2. Eventually, my warranty will run out, and the basic vehicle limited warranty covers the car for 4 years or 50,000 miles, whichever comes first. It'll probably take us about 4 or 5 years to run out of this warranty, and at that point I would need to cover any necessary repairs like a 12-volt battery replacement, which is common because it would be out of warranty. There don't seem to be too many common, glaring, or super expensive repairs for Teslas over the years, and having to replace your entire Tesla battery pack is not a normal thing. The one thing I would recommend, which is a big lesson I learned on my Model Y, is to make sure that you have proper glass coverage on your insurance plan. It's worth the extra money and could save you a lot since this car has so much glass. There is an entire glass roof as well as a large windshield, and I had to replace my Model Y windshield after a large rock hit it on the freeway, and I wound up paying about $1,000 out of pocket. Make sure you have that covered for that possible scenario. In any case, as you can see, there are a lot of cost savings to be had with a Tesla when compared to an equivalent priced gasoline vehicle. Still, for the time being, even with the cheapest model available, the Standard Range Plus Model 3, when compared to a cheaper gasoline vehicle, you won't be saving too much and probably will be paying more. Tesla has plans for an even cheaper $25,000 model to come in the next few years though, and that just might be the one that crosses the threshold to make cost of ownership cheaper than almost every vehicle out there, even the cheap ones. Additionally, the federal government may be passing an updated $10,000 EV credit later this year, and that could make both your Model 3 or $25,000 Tesla that much more within reach. If you want to see a full review of the Standard Range Plus Model 3, you can check that out linked over here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.